What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Fly Time Friday. Tonight I got another really simple kind of guide fly for you. Very quick tie, and it's a nice scud imitation. It's called Trout Crack, and I came across this fly for the first time when I was fishing Tennessee on the South Holston River, and there's a lot of scuds and just small bugs down there, and I ended up catching one of the largest browns I've ever caught on a size 20 version of this. What you're looking at right here is a size 18, but yeah, it's just been a great fly, and ever since then it's produced well for me on some local tailwaters. So thought I'd go ahead and tie this up for you and show you how simple it is. And so this version particularly is unweighted, and I'll go ahead and put a fresh hook in the vise here. This is a Firehole Outdoors 633 in a size 18. It's a pretty sweet hook, super sharp, has just a slight upturned bend to the point, as you can see. And we'll go ahead and attach the thread here. I'm using UTC 70 denier and like a dark brown color. And we'll just go ahead and put a nice thread base on the hook. Go all the way to the bend of the hook. Just go ahead and wrap just a little bit past the bend of the hook. Get rid of the excess. And first thing I'm going to tie in is a little bit of 6X tippet. You don't need much. This will be the ribbing for the fly. So just do a little pinch wrap and tie that down. Pull it to the length you need. And then the shell back for this is D-rib material. This is a size medium D-rib in a gray color, made by Hairline, and it has it's basically stretch tubing, but it's not hollow, and it has a flat side to it. So one side's rounded, one side's flat. What we're going to do is put the rounded side down, and this can be a little tricky, but we're going to go ahead and tie in the rounded side down, flat side facing up, and try to just stretch it a little bit as you tie it in and work your way back to the bend of the hook. Same place we ended the thread, actually, just a little further down. And just make sure it's going to come up nice. So you want the rounded side facing up whenever you fold it over. Just make sure it's sitting right on top the hook shank. And now for the dubbing, this is the body of the fly. I'm going to use a hare's mask. I like using the natural hare's mask and actually picking the dubbing myself. I just kind of go all over the mask. Make sure you grab a couple guard hairs, a few pinches of the fluffy like cheek hair, just kind of all over the place. Get yourself a nice little pinch, and we'll just dub that right onto the thread. A fairly tight dubbing loop, but we're going to comb it out in a little bit and kind of make it look more buggy. But if you make a nice tight dubbing loop now, you'll be able to wind the rib up a little bit easier without trapping too many fibers. So we'll just make touching wraps of that dubbing all the way up to the eye, keeping it fairly thin, but you know, creating a little bit of a body. I need a little bit more. Should be a little tapered on both ends if you can. And I just really like the natural color. That large brown I got in Tennessee was on this exact pattern, so same color and everything. Now whenever you fold the D-rib over, you want to go ahead and stretch it, give it a little tug, and hold it with your opposite hand and try to capture that D-rib material while it's stretched with a few nice tight wraps right at the head, and trying to keep that D-rib laying right on top of the fly. So once you capture that, make a couple wraps underneath too, just to secure it, and trim it off as close as you can get it. Next we're going to wind the rib up, and this is supposed to create a little bit of a segmentation and also reinforce that D-rib. You may trap a few of the dubbing fibers. It's not the end of the world, but you want to try to catch as little as possible and give this a nice little tug so it creates a segmented line as you go into that D-rib. And just try to keep everything sitting on top the hook shank. Just make open wraps all the way forward, and once you get to the eye, go ahead and tie it off. And that's pretty much the end of the fly right there. We're just going to whip finish. Put just a touch of glue on that thread and then whip finish right over top it. And like I said, you can crank these out very quickly. I mean, when you get rolling, it's probably a 2-minute or minute and a half, 2-minute fly. The last step I do is just take a little bit of Velcro, and this one's got a bunch of other junk in it from other flies, but take that Velcro and just comb out some, you're basically making it look like legs, but comb out that dubbing, pull it all straight down, and it gives you a nice kind of scud profile. But that's pretty much it. That's the Trout Crack Nymph. Great scud imitation. Like I said, if you want to add a little bit more sinking ability to it, you can add a lead wire underbody if you like, but keep it thin. Also, you could put some UV glue epoxy on top the shell back, but I kind of like it as is. I usually fish this with a heavier nymph, like either above or below it, maybe a Euro rig, something like that. And then this is like a lighter weight fly kind of dancing around either above or below your heavy fly. So whichever way you want to fish it, I've had success both ways, but it's a great fly and a quick tie. So appreciate you guys tuning in, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next week on another Fly Tying Friday. God bless.